The appeal was heard in court. We made our arguments why we feel that the judgment of the magistrate court must be set aside. We made our arguments extensively. The state responded to the arguments, and then the judgment has been reserved. It will be handed down on either Monday, late on Monday, but if the judge fails to hand it down on Monday, he will hand it down on first thing on Tuesday morning. That's what the judge has said. So we are now looking forward to the judgment.
What were the key issues which you raised that you think would move the court?
Oh, well, there were so many issues that we raised that we believe the court will find favor with us. The first one was that the magistrate court did not understand the procedures that ought to have been followed. Our client went to the magistrate court to apply for bail on what are called the changed circumstances, to say that 31 July had gone to get passed. The court agreed with him that the 31 July had come and had gone. That's what Mr. Ngarivhume was arguing it in the court of made clear. But after making that finding, the magistrate ought to have then shifted the burden to the state to indicate why it was still opposed to bail. That did not happen. The magistrate simply went on after finding that there was that change in circumstance, then created a new animal called the 31st July movement, which was not before the court in the previous hearing. So we have said that that was a misdirection. The court ought to have given to the state to then say why it was opposing bail. That's one. Then the second point that we have raised is that even when in denying bail, the magistrate did not consider a number of factors. One of those key factors that ought to have been considered was the length of time that Mr. Ngarivhume has already spent in custody. He has been in custody, at the time the hearing took place, he had been in custody for 33 days. That was not taken into account. And the state did not indicate when do they want to take him to trial. So you cannot just say keep him in custody without indicating for how long that he had to be kept in custody for. And then, of course, the more important other reason was that it would have been very unreasonable for any court to then start creating new facts. You know that there are so many things that they considered which were not considered before. That's the point. So those are the arguments we made. We believe that the court understood the arguments from the exchange that was taking place in court.
Thank you so very much.
We also heard from the state that if your client, Mr. Ngarivhume, is released, there will be hell in this country. What do you take on that statement?
Well, those were arguments in court. They were allowed to make those arguments. It's up to the judge to take that into account or not to take that into account. But we had already argued clearly that that was not a relevant fact. Bail is a constitutional right. So whoever has been accused of committing an offense is still entitled to be released on bail unless there are compelling reasons. So it can never be a compelling reason to say that someone does not like the president and so on. That cannot be a compelling reason for denying them bail.